back to MLL, you talked about pro. I know you played MLL for a couple years.
Yeah.
Now you're with LXM.
Yeah.
2 questions. Why is the MLL struggling?
Yeah.
And where does LXM stand in comparison to MLL, and what are their challenges? Are they competing against each other? Are they doing the same thing?
Right. I honestly don't. I mean, everybody's got their own opinion. I don't necessarily think they're competing against each other. I think the MLL is a summer league, and I enjoyed my time in it. I had fun. I played for New Jersey for a number of years and had a great time because I got to play with a lot of my old Hopkins teammates. And then I played in LA for a year, had a great experience. And then I played in Denver for a season, but I hurt my hamstring that season, so I didn't get to play much. But I had a great time in Denver. Great organization, great ownership, great players on the team. As far as LXM, I live out in LA, and as a guy who's sponsored by STX and Nike, and has relationships with different manufacturers, when I played in the MLL, I wasn't able to support those sponsors. Those are the guys that have taken a risk on me by sponsoring me, and of course I'm going to play in the thing where I'm able to actually support them. So my decision between LXM and MLL was a very simple one. As far as LXM, I love it. We get to travel all around the world and play games, play at a high level. I get to compete against guys that I used to idolize and now have become, my friends, my peers. Mike Powell's a guy that I've been competing against, since college days back at Houston Hopkins, and now I get to, bump heads with him once a month on the tour. It's a lot of fun, man. I don't really waste my time comparing because I don't see a point. They love what they do and their players have a great time. We love what we do and our players have a great time. And at the end of the day, they're trying to grow the game. We're trying to grow the game. So I wish people would just stop wasting their time comparing the two and just be happy that there's more opportunities for more guys to play professionally.
So, I've been to a few MLL games. I haven't been to an LXM game. And I've noticed that lots of people, except for maybe the Denvers or the Bostons, are maybe 60% watching the game and 40% hanging out in the stands. How do we get fans more engaged in caring about who wins and loses?
It's interesting, man. That's an argument / discussion for every league, I think, right? That's MLL, LXM, NLL. I don't know, man. Fans have such allegiance to colleges, and so I know MLL's talked about it. I know we've talked about it. I think probably everybody in lacrosse at some point has talked about it. I don't know, do you put guys, like all Hopkins guys on one team, all Syracuse guys on one team, and try and create that same rivalry and that same hatred for each other almost? I don't know. I mean, on the player standpoint, I don't think the players need any more motivation. I know in the MLL and in LXM, we all love to play and compete and get after each other. So there's no motivation needed on our end. As far as the fans' experience, I agree that you gotta figure out some way to make them care the same way when you watch ESPN2 on Saturday afternoon and Hopkins is playing Syracuse, that those people care. Like they I don't want to say a bad word, but they give a you-know-what about who wins. And you have to create that same feeling. I think that's honestly the question that everybody in the sport is trying to look to figure out at the professional level.